we did a worm count on these hoggets just before shearing, and they were on about 840. So it's about 5 or 6 days later, and we're going to give them a BarberVax and also a Tridectin drench, because most of the worms in the worm count were not Barbers Pole, they were black Scour or brown stomach worm. We're not drinking beer. The vaccine comes in a little plastic bag, and we put it in the stubby holder to keep it cool while we're vaccinating.
Keep the sun.
Put it outside. Sit.
Okay, little girl.
So they're just off shears and they're very flighty, and you have to be just very careful not to pack them up because they'll smother. I'll stand here halfway down the race. That's the problem. A couple go down pretty quickly and they smother. So we don't want that to happen. Some of these hoggets are anti-vaxxers. They wriggle a bit. Unlike your COVID vaccine, which is into the muscle, so it's like intramuscular, BarberVax is subcutaneous, which means that it's injected under the skin. So that the meat value of the sheep isn't compromised, it's recommended that the vaccine be given under the loose skin behind the ear. When there's no wool, that's relatively easy to do, but it requires a bit more skill when the sheep are in full wool. And now for some drenching. You can see the issue here, these sheep jumping on top of each other, just because they're so flighty. They're in good condition, and it creates a risk of smothering, so you just have to be very, very careful. The drench is administered orally using a drench gun that's been calibrated carefully. You squirt it. Well, what we do is we squirt 10 squirts into a measuring jug and then divide by 10, and that gives us the dose. Different drenches have different withholding periods, so that after you've drenched you can't slaughter the animals for human consumption. The withholding period varies depending on the product being used, but it's generally specified in days, and there's also an export slaughter interval, ESI. I'm not quite sure why the two are different, but the veterinary authorities specify the withholding periods. So whenever you sell animals, it's accompanied by a declaration that declares when you last drenched or vaccinated or any other health treatments for animals. That gives the buyer the precise information on the animal's health status. At the end of the race, we count them out, record that in the notebook, and then take it home and put the numbers back into the computer. It's a rare day when we get the numbers exactly right. Usually there's a miscount of 1 or 2, but that's acceptable. But when you're out 5 or 10 or something like that, then you just have to start to worry and find out what's gone wrong. And then we repeat the process. We load up another race and away we go again. And then when we're done, we let them out and take them back to the paddock.
Come on, girlies. Come on, girlies. Good girls. Off you pop. Good girls. Come on. Out the gate. Off you go. Girls.